Okay, so good morning, everyone, and welcome. I am Cassandra Coleman, and I am the Executive Director of America 250 PA, and we are the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania's commission that was charged with planning and coordinating all of the programming, projects, and events around the 250th anniversary of our nation next year in 2026. Before we begin, I'd like to thank Secretary Redding and his team for inviting us to join in this exciting day. I'd also like to acknowledge America 250 PA Commissioners Kevin Vaughn, who has joined us, as well as PHMC Executive Director Andrea Lowry, and the many advisors and nonprofit partners on hand who truly make our work possible, including our friends in the legislature, Senator Haywood and Representative Kahn. So thank you so much for being with us. Together, we are building something that reflects the best of who we are: curious, connected, and proud to be Pennsylvanian. Across 67 counties and over 400 local communities and counting, America 250 PA is committed to one mission: reaching every Pennsylvanian. We've launched over a dozen initiatives, including our Countdown to 250 experiential unit. Over the summer, we proudly unveiled this custom-built mobile exhibit designed to bring the Semi-Quin celebration to all 67 counties. It's packed with games, interactive features, and a storytelling booth where visitors can share personal or family memories for posterity. Now we are focused on shaping an epic statewide calendar for 2026. And even our friends here in Pennsylvania's largest city know that at the start of each new year means one thing: the Pennsylvania Farm Show. America 250 PA is proud to partner with the largest indoor agricultural event in the nation, because the milestone that defines America are rooted in Pennsylvania. And while July 4th, 1776 is the date that is etched in our minds, the real work of democracy stretched far beyond Independence Hall. It happened in our towns, our mills, our barns, and our fields. Every day, Pennsylvanians shaped what this country became, and farmers in the agriculture industry as a whole were always at the heart of that story. Here on Germantown Avenue, it's only right to honor the Pennsylvania German farmers who brought crop rotation to the New World and whose Pennsylvania barns stand as a lasting symbol of agriculture innovation, efficiency, and perseverance. Later, the Grange movement, Adams County fruit growers, and our dairy heritage advanced the practices and values that came to define Pennsylvania farming. These legacies prove what we already know: Pennsylvania farmers built communities, they fed families, and sustained a nation. And most importantly, continue to do that today. In 1917, hundreds of farmers came together for the first statewide farm show. And a decade later, the Commonwealth laid the cornerstone for the main hall, beginning a tradition that would grow into the extraordinary event that we all know today. Every year, it celebrates the best of our agriculture industry and the extraordinary people who keep it growing. This event opens a window into an industry that keeps nearly 500,000 Pennsylvanians working, 500,000, and contributes over $130 billion to our economy. I can't wait for January, but it feels right to make this announcement in October, because it has always been the Pennsylvania farmer, whether under the hot summer sun or by the light of the harvest moon, that has kept the American experiment growing and now thriving for almost 250 years. And now we come to the moment that we've all been waiting for, and that's the theme of the 2026 Farm Show, a historic year that will showcase the best of what Pennsylvania has to offer. To help us make that announcement, we brought along a friend, and it's my honor to introduce a woman who was there at the very beginning of our story and whose flag continues to inspire all of us: Betsy Ross.
Well, I believe I've been invited to be here because I'm the oldest person around. But my dear fellow Pennsylvanians, how pleased I am to share this historic moment with everyone. Certainly most will know me by the name Betsy Ross, although I have been known by many names. And before I was a bridge, I did not know I was a bridge, by the way. But before I was a bridge, I was a flesh and blood Philadelphian. Yes, some remember me as the woman who stitched together the first flag of these United States. 13 stars and 13 stripes. A very bold and simple emblem for a powerful idea that liberty is worth the labor. Now, in a few short months, the world will mark the semi-quincentennial of the United States. Did I say that right?
You did.
All right, I did. And millions will come together to honor the legacy of my generation and every generation of Americans who have labored for liberty. So as we plan festivities to celebrate that milestone, it seems only right that we remember where this country began, right here in Pennsylvania. It seems appropriate to remember that William Penn himself said, "Pennsylvania is the seed of a nation." We declared independence. We shaped a new government. We are the birthplace of the Army, the Navy, and the Marine Corps. And yes, we stitched the first flag. Or at least it was my first flag. But beyond the fife and drums, beyond the parchment and speeches, stood the people who nourished the spirit of '76, the farmers who fed a growing nation. While I labored with needle and thread, farmers sowed and reaped across Pennsylvania. And yes, those communities included those German immigrants here in Germantown. Farmers held our communities together through good and bad, and the fruits of their labor fed and clothed the Continental troops who won our freedom. Who remembers what was the first of the 3 rights that Mr. Jefferson enumerated in our Declaration of Independence? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life was first. Now, some might honor me by saying that my creation brought our country together, that it made us a unity. But remember, without the harvest, there would be no life to give for the cause of liberty. My early flags were stitched from wool, but only the Pennsylvania farmer could truly stitch together the fabric of America. General Washington, he said that with reference to national welfare, agriculture is of primary importance. Why? Because there is no liberty without life, and no life can be sustained without the work of farmers. By the sweat of their brows and the strength of calloused hands, they turned soil into sustenance and made the dreams of Independence Hall a reality. Pennsylvania farmers have kept this nation growing. Their values: patience, progress, purpose. They became part of our national creed, because being a farmer like being an American, is to believe in tomorrow. To plant is to hope. Through drought and flood, through war and peace, through lean years and seasons of plenty, our farmers have done the work and kept the faith. Now that brings us to today. I am proud to help to unveil the theme of the 110th Pennsylvania Farm Show, a theme rooted in our shared past and blooming with promise for the future. We are going to pause here for a moment as we unveil what that theme will be. Growing a nation. The theme is growing a nation because that's exactly what our farmers have done across seasons and generations. And so as we will now look ahead to the next 250 years, we will ask important questions. Who will take up the plow and labor for liberty? Who will keep us growing? Farming must be both heritage and horizon. Thankfully, even as we celebrate the past, we are welcoming a new generation stepping forward to plant, to preserve, and to grow the future of America. From horse-drawn plows to GPS. I'm not sure what exactly that is, but it's important. From hay wagons to high-tech irrigation. From small family plots to whole counties defined by the bounty they provide. My friends, liberty is always worth the labor. And if you ever need a reminder of that, then remember, our flag and our farmers will always be here to remind you. Thank you so much indeed.
Nice.
Thank you, Betsy. We would now like to introduce the Secretary of Agriculture, Russell Redding.
Yeah. Cassandra, thank you. I feel that after listening to Betsy Ross, we just say amen. Right? What a beautiful story, right? It's a reminder of Pennsylvania's rich heritage and history. It's also a reminder of the role and the pivotal role that we played in our nation. So today we celebrate that and we honor the work of our flag and our farmers. Well said. So today we have a chance to look at and celebrate the Farm Show theme of growing a nation, and I cannot think of a better time and a better place than right here at the Wick House and Farm to sort of celebrate that. So thank you all for being here. To all of our friends who have joined us as I look around, thank you for being part of this special day and this special announcement. As Betsy Ross has noted, this flag was stitched together just blocks down the street here in Philadelphia. It is more thread and fabric. It was a vision made real by hand and by hope, a symbol of unity and purpose and promise. And in many ways, that's what we're unveiling today. A new banner of Pennsylvania agriculture rooted in our values and lifted by the people who make this industry thrive. It's a privilege to be here with you today to take another step forward, one of the nation's most important and cherished enduring traditions of Pennsylvania Farm Show. As noted, since 1917, the Farm Show has been more than just an event. It's a living, breathing portrait of Pennsylvania agriculture, the largest indoor exposition of agriculture in the nation, drawing 500,000 people to come and see, but also to learn and to connect and be inspired. It's where legacies are honored. It's where blue ribbons are earned for the first time, where families return generation after generation to exhibit and to see and walk those exhibits, to meet the animals, to taste what Pennsylvania grows, and feel part of something greater. At the farm show, agriculture isn't just seen, it's lived. And each year, our theme becomes the heartbeat of that experience, a guiding light that frames what agriculture means to our Commonwealth and to our nation. So today, I'm proud to stand along this team as our partners celebrate this theme of growing a nation. Because this theme is more than just a tagline. It's a tribute. It's a truth. It's a promise. It's a tribute to those who came before, generations who worked the land in their hands and their hearts. It's a truth about the place agriculture has always held in America's story. It's steady, essential, and enduring. And it's a promise that the work we do today right here in Pennsylvania will grow forward, stronger, smarter, more connected than ever. Because growing a nation is not just a celebration of what's been, it's a bold commitment to what's next. A growing nation means recognizing every acre, every animal, every leader, and every community in Pennsylvania's ag landscape sends the ripples far beyond our borders. When a farmer in Franklin County harvests corn, when a cheesemaker in Lancaster crafts something new, when a high school student in Erie earns for the first time their awards and sees a future in their hands, that is growing a nation. Because it's not just what we grow from the ground. It's what we grow from grit, from our values and our vision, from the indigenous stewards of this land, to the immigrant farmers who brought their tools and traditions, to the black agricultural communities who endured and resisted and thrived, to the farm families whose names are rooted in the hills and hollows of Pennsylvania, to the young farmers with vision, to the food system advocates and the intrepid educators, to the dreamers and risk takers and the change makers. Each of these groups has helped grow Pennsylvania by passing down knowledge and opening the doors and pushing all of us forward. Their legacy isn't just in the land. It's in the ideas that they've sparked in the communities that they've built. At the 2026 Pennsylvania Farm Show, we'll proudly celebrate all of these contributions with all of the exhibits and the stories and the experiences that honor their impact and show how they've worked and how we continue to grow this nation today. To anyone listening who may not have been to the farm show, may not know agriculture, if your heart is in your hand and your land and the food and the people and the promise of it all, this is a place for you. You have a seat at this table. So come and grow with us, because in Pennsylvania, agriculture is more than an industry. It's a legacy and it's a responsibility. It's a story that we write together, that we care with purpose and with hope. And that story continues today. When a dairy farmer rises before dawn in Somerset County, when a mushroom grower in Chester County harvests by hand, when a forester in Tioga County tends to Penn's Woods, when a family right here at Wick House and Farm nurtures the community garden, they are not just growing food. They're not just growing futures. They're growing a nation. So thank you for being here. Look forward to this farm show this year very much. And I'm always pleased to be on the grounds of someone who's a great steward. So Kim Staub, if you would please join us and tell us the story of the Wick House and Farm. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you, Secretary Redding. Thank you to the PA Farm Show and America 250 PA for being here at WIC. Welcome. It's a beautiful day here in Germantown. We're so excited to be partners with you as we launch this year's Farm Show theme, Growing a Nation. Here at WIC, one Quaker family lived for 9 generations, from 1690 all the way to 1973. The Wister Haynes family that called this place home had a lot of occupations over their 283 years in residence, but farming and gardening have always been central to their lives. From the earliest family members growing flax for linen production here in Germantown, to a later generation bringing Pennsylvania and the United States its first Guernsey cow, the Alderney cow, to an even later generation founding the first women's horticultural school in the nation that's now Temple Amberley campus. WIC's legacy of growing a nation is strong. No family member better understood that vital link between agriculture, the land, and the American identity better than the 6th generation resident Reuben Haynes III. While he's best remembered for helping found the Horticultural Society, the Academy of Fine Arts, the Academy of Natural Sciences, and a lot of other sort of prominent institutions, when it came to educating his own children, he wrote that, after their book learning, and I quote, "With what additional pleasure will I lead them forth into the garden and the field and teach them to admire the economy of vegetation their little hands have deposited in the earth, point out the bees as example to stimulate their industry, and see our mantle decked with wildflowers which they have assisted to gather." And so today we use that past as inspiration for the present. We are home to the oldest rose garden in the United States in its original plan, which today holds over 50 cultivars of unique heritage roses, some of which survived only because they survived here at WIC. And although our Northwest Philadelphia neighborhood is not as rural as it once was, we've transformed our historic farm that once grew flax, oats, corn, and wheat into a community gathering space. Our home farm is worked not just by our farmer, but in tandem, side by side with our friends and neighbors. Our harvest of both historic and modern vegetables, fruits, and flowers draws inspiration both from our historic collection at WIC and the great diversity of Germantown citizenry. It's so rewarding, particularly in an urban environment, to bring families and school children here together to grow a connection to the land. At WIC, I've watched kids eat carrots, tomatoes, and cucumbers straight from the vine and the earth. I've listened to school kids who have never actually seen a bee pollinate a plant in real life, drop their jaws in awe at seeing, how this work all comes together. Together, our community brings that same enthusiastic energy to WIC and the farm as Reuben and his family did all those years ago. Here, we believe that we make our communities, our Commonwealth, and our nation stronger by growing together. And so as we prepare for the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, we're so excited to celebrate our farm and the history together with our friends here in historic Germantown, across Philadelphia, and throughout the Commonwealth. So thank you so much for being here today, and we look forward to showing you around the farm, around the site, to see some of our historic plants and historic treasures we have inside. And I'd like to introduce Senator Haywood, our friend and partner from up the street, to come give some.
I surprised Secretary Redding with a small basket of tomatoes grown from my garden. I shared with him, and I'll share with you all, that it was Secretary Redding who really introduced me into this idea of farming and urban farming, and getting a state farm bill that included urban farming. I certainly want to thank Secretary Redding for that leadership. It went from community and legislation to my home. And we decided to create a small garden. As an elected official, I got to tell you, my ego probably went a little bit too far, and I asked my daughters to create something indicating that we had Haywood Farm. But it is a small plot. This farm show is such a tremendous contribution to our community, particularly for urban legislators who don't really see the impact of farming directly other than at the grocery stores. So I cannot thank you all enough for having this new theme that includes growing a nation. I also wanted to have a sincere thanks to WIC House, because this is a place where we need to get more and more young people from our neighborhoods to see and experience. Because when they do see, when they do experience, it will open their eyes not just to the pollination from a bee, but to the garden, to the air, to the trees, to nature. I want to thank Wick House for being consistently welcoming to individuals and students throughout this area. And last, in connection with 2050, 250, we are also looking to the future and what the new America can be based upon growing America, based upon the diversity that we have now and how we can come together in the ways that Secretary Redding has described the various organizations that have done so. I would be remiss if I did not add that when we look at 250 in the past, that we do need to consistently acknowledge across the nation, although not so much here in Pennsylvania, the free labor that allowed the nation to grow for over 200 years. Having said that, thank you, Betsy Ross, for your vision of what the nation could be and having a symbol that can help the nation become what it should be. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. I would now like to introduce Heidi Savanovic, the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Farm Show.
Hi, good morning. I'm thrilled to share a glimpse of what's ahead as we look forward to one of our Commonwealth's most beloved activities and traditions, our state fair, the Pennsylvania Farm Show, happening January 10th through 17th. Each year, the Farm Show brings 500,000 visitors over the course of 8 unforgettable days. It's not just an event. It's a celebration of our agricultural roots, a major economic driver for our state, and a place where learning, community, and innovation come together under one very big roof. And 2026 is going to be extra special. As we celebrate America's 250th anniversary, the Farm Show will be joining the nation in honoring our shared history, our resilience, and our growth with a patriotic theme you won't want to miss. New this year, visitors will be able to explore heritage breeds of animals, showcasing the roots of American farming and the vital role these breeds continue to play today. Enjoy red, white, and blue themed competitions that highlight the creativity and spirit of our communities, whether it's baking, quilting, growing Christmas trees, or vegetables. Don't miss our special patriotic arena events, designed to inspire pride in our past and excitement for our future, while honoring veterans and those who are still currently serving our country. Join in the wild rides for top cowboys and cowgirls at one of our 4 PRCA rodeos, a thrilling tribute to the Western traditions that helped shape our nation. Honor the legacy of our gentle giants by taking a draft horse for a spin around the arena and at the Drive a Draft event. And for a truly immersive experience, check out our Ag Explorer stations, designed to offer hands-on opportunities and show how agriculture has formed our history every step of the way. And of course, it wouldn't be the Farm Show without the food. We're excited to introduce delicious new offerings that showcase the diversity and innovation of Pennsylvania agriculture. Be sure to try the chocolate-covered strawberries, a sweet celebration of our dairy and fruit producers. Start your morning with a mushroom and spinach breakfast burrito, a hearty and healthy option that highlights a multitude of our thriving ag sectors. And for the more adventurous foodies, don't miss the mushroom coffee, a bold new brew made with Pennsylvania mushrooms that's sustainable and packed with a flavor. These new items join all your favorite Farm Show items to make this year's food court better than ever. The 2026 Pennsylvania Farm Show is more than just a milestone year. It's an invitation to learn, to celebrate, and to see firsthand the innovation and dedication that defines Pennsylvania agriculture. So I invite you, mark your calendars now, January 10th through the 17th. Come with your family, your friends, your neighbors, and your questions. Whether you're a farmer, a foodie, a student, or simply curious, there's something for everyone. The 2026 Pennsylvania Farm Show will be a proud celebration of how we've grown and where we're going. I'll see you at the farm show.
Good.
And now please welcome the Pennsylvania State Fair Queen, Ava Immel.
So especially with this new logo that we have here and the new theme for the Pennsylvania Farm Show, it's very fitting because as a young person in agriculture, I can see every single day how Pennsylvania agriculture is truly growing our nation. Now, anywhere from where we're proud to carry on tradition that really sustains and nourishes America, anywhere from the milk that nourishes our families from across the Commonwealth, to the plants and greenhouse production that brightens our communities, to the communities and the farming that produces the soybeans and corn that feeds both people and livestock, and even to our mushrooms that feeds our people across the great Commonwealth as well. Pennsylvania agriculture doesn't just help our state, it helps other people and other states grow as well. Through opportunities like 4-H, the Pennsylvania Fair Queen Program, FFA, and the Pennsylvania Junior Farm Show Committee, we actually encourage and join in the youth to our agriculture production and practices. Not only does this help grow our nation, but it gives these people, the young people, a voice in agriculture and a way to sustain and make sure that our Pennsylvania agriculture and the farming community has someone to take over for the next years as well. With these younger youth committees as well, it just develops the skills, confidence, and leadership to carry farming and agriculture really far into the future as well. And ensure that Pennsylvania agriculture keeps growing, strong, and for the generations to come as well. So on behalf of not only the Pennsylvania Fair Queen Foundation, but also for the Pennsylvania Farm Show, we thank you for always inviting the youth and having the youth involved not only the agriculture, but the farming traditions to bring us all together as we're the next generation to come. So thank you.
Thank you, Ava. It's now my honor to reintroduce Secretary Russell Redding.
Cassandra, thank you. And again, I'll try to wrap this up. Senator Haywood, I mean, I'm impressed. Haywood Farms has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? But what a great story and a reminder that is, at the end of the day, sort of what the farm show is about, right? It's history, right? It's 250 years or 300 for standing here. It's that history. But it's also those who see an opportunity, right, to see a chance to sort of change their community, to change their neighborhood in some way, to feed themselves and maybe a family. That's inside of the farm show. That's what growing a nation is about. We see that here today. And I'm always humbled when I stand on ground that ancestors and others, sort of the forefathers who had vision, who had spirit, who stitched together both a flag and a country and a nation, to stand here and really talk about and celebrate an industry that is important both to our daily existence, but also to our past and our future. That is growing a nation. But as I often say, it doesn't stay here or will not stay here just because you and I like it. It's about how we invest in it. It's right. What we see is the vision for this industry. I'm every day proud to be part of a team with Governor Shapiro. There's a vision for agriculture in the state. He often says that he sees Pennsylvania's future running right through our farms. I think how poetic it is, but also how true it is, that we get a chance to see both our past here and our future in agriculture. That's what it means to grow a nation. This is a call to action. It's nice to celebrate, it's good to talk about what it was, but we also needed to stay here and continue to grow and thrive. So I ask each of you to join in this call, just as Betsy Ross had shared in the call of a new nation. We ask you to join this. Join us this year for the Farm Show and growing a new nation. It's exciting times, but it's also a time that we need to tell our story, both as a nation and its history and its journey, all that it took to come here and stay here, but also what it will take to thrive and continue to grow both an industry and this nation. So on behalf of the Department of Agriculture and the governor and the team, I want to say thank you to all of those who are here. And I see folks who are present today who are part of that very storied farm show's history of 110 years. Wouldn't be here without the farmers across the state, as noted, our advocates who are with us today. So thank you for being here. Thank you for helping us grow a nation. And we'll see you at the Pennsylvania Farm Show. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody.
And I wanted to extend, we have a pot of
Never stops.
Yeah, we have over 10,000 objects, 100,000 manuscripts, plus our living collections and our rose gardens. I'm sure you're a bit of a rose fan. So,
It's wherever I am.
yes, thank you for being here.
Give a thumbs up. So Alex Bologna, right? He's the executive director.
Together, we are building something that reflects the best of who we are. Curious, connected. Now we are focused on shaping an epic statewide calendar for 2026. And even our friends here in Pennsylvania's cultural event in the nation. Because the milestone that defines America are rooted in Pennsylvania.